Wow, I guess I'm live. Still getting used to using this live streaming, and it's very exciting. So, are we ready to work on our Ikigai? That's the question today, right? I have invited a couple guests, and oh wow, they're here. So let's get them on. Good morning, Vivek.
Good morning.
So we're live right now on multiple platforms, and thank you for coming on as my guest today. There's a specific reason why I have you on this call. Um, are you getting used to the studio? Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, give me a second. Oh, it's on your side. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, well, you figure that out because
You can hear me.
yeah, I can hear
Nice
you.
to meet, nice to see you again. I cannot hear you at the moment, so I'm going to test my audio. But let's see here.
So I have everything going. Yeah. So when I speak, I have my microphone going off. That means we're good. Can people hear us?
I'm
There's
all
a
set.
few. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Great. 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 Well, good morning, Vivek. How are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm well. Ready for a beautiful day, Wednesday here in the Midwest.
Same here in California,
Nice.
but a different time. So we're in the early morning, 7:30, and I'm really delighted to have you. There's a reason why I wanted to do this call with you because I feel that the subject that we are about to dive into, you've kind of nailed it. Would you say that?
It's a thank you first of all for thinking of me for being in today. And it's been a constant pursuit, right? It is really finding who we are as being, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you've had a phenomenal journey, and I want to introduce you to our people because they want to know who they're listening to, right? So, Vivek has been a serial entrepreneur, and he's had a phenomenal journey, a long enough journey in a very shorter time frame, I would say. Built and sold multiple companies, and um, still building more companies, and like what is it that took you from being an engineer to coming to an education company and then now moving into health and wellness? Like, I want to know, and then I have a PowerPoint which we're gonna go over, but just to kind of talk about your journey and how you found your Ikigai.
Thank you. And yes, it's been a wonderful journey. For me particularly, always, looking back for a moment, you recognize that as growing adults or teens, we're passionate about life, right? And we're in a pursuit of really being able to make a difference in our own ways. And born and raised in a traditional Indian family that emigrated from India back 50 years now, And so, having multiple cultures, all of these factors playing around, for me particularly, um, having the ability to own something and having the ability to make a difference for others has always been a driver for me. And whether it's in building things as an engineer, designing things, to as you mentioned, my education background, really creating a space for people to explore and learn, to at the end of it, for all the journey, if we're not healthy, what's it all worth?
Absolutely. You know, can you imagine finding your life purpose and then realizing your health is declining
Yeah,
and you cannot have much time here? So, to even pursue your purpose, health and wellness, and staying on top of the things that daily activity requires is a must, right? Otherwise, there's no way you're gonna have a fulfilling, happy life over here. So we're all running behind happiness, and
yep,
that's why honestly people don't know how to be happy. Is my career gonna make me happy? Like more money, is that gonna make me happy? Is a partner gonna make me happy? Having kids gonna make me, no. All of that is a part of your life, but that should not be the definition of your happiness. You as a person need to find your life purpose to be really, really, feeling fulfilled and happy every day. And that's what I truly believe in.
absolutely. That purpose that drives all of us. Um, it's beautiful. I took a look at this, and quite frankly, yesterday was the first day I ever heard of Ikigai.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. Well, that's because it's a Japanese concept and we don't talk enough about it. But if you think about Ikigai in your own life, haven't
yep,
you been fine tuning every day to find your purpose?
exactly. Known by a different name, but absolutely the same. So uh,
See?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
so
all, yeah,
we all have. Honestly, I'm on the same path. Like every day, I want to fine tune to find like what is my purpose and then, kind of keep moving deeper and deeper into it.
right.
So I'm going to quickly share a screen. That way, there is more things that we can dive deeper into. I'm going to pull up a presentation. So the great thing about this is that it lets you have this up. And all right. So Ikigai, the reason for living. Everyone wants to find their life purpose, and it is something that makes you get out of the bed in the morning. Would you agree to that, Vivek?
Absolutely. It's we've all felt it, right? When we're inspired or motivated, or just I mean, those are. I just think about, hey, I'm headed off to Hawaii, or a beautiful vacation, and that momentary reason for living in that moment is like fun and getting out, right? And that all of a sudden jumping out of bed is natural, right? So finding this natural ikigai, I'm looking forward to the rest of the conversation.
Absolutely. So it's a Japanese concept, right? The reason for being. And it is really important that we do some deep diving. And it's a lengthy process too, right? Like it didn't happen to us overnight or in just a couple years. I would say at least it took me a decade to really, really kind of be there, starting from like maybe say 18. Like I think at 28, I really, really knew that what I wanted to do and, what is my passion, my purpose, what gives me satisfaction, what gives me fulfillment, what's my calling, the true self that I am, and what's good for the society and, the values that I have. I really like this slide because it kind of gives us different things to ponder on. Like, I
Mhm.
feel that people should bring out their pen and paper and start writing because this is some real deep diving on a Wednesday morning.
Absolutely. I think it's a perfect opportunity as you even consider these concepts in your own framework. Like how does it how does it look in this moment? And I'm actually taking that on with you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We're both diving into it. So it's it's really important in the Japanese culture, and we know, right, Vivek, that Japanese culture, they have better concepts of healthy living, and they
Yes.
eat differently, they live differently, and they have a lot of them are very minimalistic. They have like a capsule style lifestyle where they don't have much of possessions when it comes to um, materialistic things, because they live in small spaces and have very limited clothing. Like, there's so much that we learn from them. And then, of course, we know some of the best blue zones are there, which means that people live over 100 years there.
Mhm. Very true.
So why is that? Because they do a lot of inner work, a lot of spirituality that they have in the culture, and more so finding the meaning of their existence is what they really, really spend time on.
Yeah, well said, well said.
So this is the core work. You create four circles, and then on the first one on the top you put what you love to do. you know what you love to do is something that really naturally comes to you. There's not much, like, I love eating chocolate. That's for example, right? I'm just giving. Or I love going out in the nature, or I love drinking my matcha latte. Like, there's different things, right, that you love, like absolutely love. And then on the other three, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what can you get paid for. That's
Mm.
also really important, because people say, ah, no, money's not that important. But would you agree to that?
No, I mean, obviously everyone needs to sustain
Support.
themselves, right?
Yeah, right.
It's yep.
So we still have to get paid, and let's be realistic that when you try to find your ikigai, there's when these four circles come together, what you get paid for is also an important circle, right? So what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. Now, when you see the overlap, Vivek, like what you love, and let's say for an example, what you love and what you're good at,
Yep.
then there is passion that comes out of it. So you're leading, like, oh, I love photography and I can take great pictures. Now that's passion, right? So
Very
there
much
is
so.
satisfaction, but the feeling of uselessness is still there, because you still haven't found your life true purpose, like, which is how you can change this love and what you're good at, which is passion, into what the world needs, and can you get paid for it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I mean, a lot of times, purpose is just tied to passion. Yeah, I want to be passionate about stuff, and having this distinction really opens up. Like, does it cover all the bases, though? Right? And so,
Right.
um,
Right. So, like, when you start looking at these circles and the overlaps, um, so what you love and what you're good at, the passion is there, right? Now, what you're good at and what you can get paid for becomes your profession. For an example, you're an engineer, you have the engineer brain, you're good at that, and you can go work for a company, and that becomes your profession.
right.
You're comfortable there, right? But you're still not feeling that unlimited power within you to pursue it. It's just a profession. I'm really good at counseling people and dispensing drugs, and I am a pharmacist, and that became my profession. I was
Very well.
comfortable
Yeah.
making six figures, but I wasn't where I wanted to feel. You get it? Like it wasn't my ikigai.
Yeah.
And then
I
on,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was gonna say the other hand, but
Yeah.
before moving forward, why don't you finish what you wanted to say on the profession side?
No, yeah. I mean, identity, right, is tied to a lot of people's profession, and myself particularly, like, as an engineer or an entrepreneur or just a father, that kind of view, for me, is comfortable, but then you can feel that unhappiness or emptiness, excuse me, where, yeah, am
It's
I
kind of similar, right? Being unhappy, being feeling empty. It
yeah,
goes hand in hand. Like my sister, she's a surgeon, like she's in surgery right now. And she calls me every couple weeks and she's like, I'm feeling really empty inside. And she's literally very passionate about surgery and she's really good at surgery. And she's doing her profession, right? Like like that's her profession, but she's still feeling empty. Now that's a great example that I can show this to her why she's feeling empty because she hasn't worked on the other parts of her
yeah,
existence,
beautiful.
right? Now, when you look at this other subset, like what the world needs and what you can get paid for, you can create vocation out of it. But then if you only have vocation filled out, then there is excitement and complicity, but the sense of uncertainty is still there because you're not really pursuing your life purpose in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Um, it's just it's so critical to kind of get a sense of, how to get all
All
of
of
our,
the
yeah, all the components, and it's exciting as well as intriguing to say, you know, how life goes, and where our mind is and where our heart is.
yeah,
We can fall and lean heavily into projects at work, or you know run into a wall and say, you know what, I'm just going to do what I'm passionate about, or there's a vocation obviously makes a difference in providing something to the world and getting paid. But is that enough? That uncertainty can definitely kick in. So it's this,
like
yeah,
I would say the uncertainty sometimes is about the path. You're like, okay, yeah, I can get paid for this, but is that the path I want to lead, right?
yep, yep,
So I, so that's why like you see the missing spots that are created, and this is a great way of demonstrating it because we can really see the visual of how to really find your ultimate ikigai. I love it. So diving deeper into it, ikigai, I would say, Vivek, it needs a lot of work. And how do we do that work? Like, how do we help our people today to find their ikigai on the how of it?
Mm. Well, I love that, you threw up this slide as far as some guidelines, right? Um, because life is happening at every moment, and then every moment after that, it's in the present, right? And a lot of times we get caught up in, you know, thinking about our future, but we're stuck in our past. you know?
I see that a lot. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the world lives either in the past or in the future.
Right. Right. And I think that's the first step, is just grounding ourselves to where we're at right now. Um,
Yeah.
so
Existence.
yeah, and taking a look at that, um, that diagram, right? That visual, like where am I feeling I'm at right now, you know? Um, and what am I missing in terms of, am I just mission driven right now? And I'm not thinking about my profession, or I'm whatnot. So getting present would be the first step.
Absolutely. So that's over here in live in the moment. So number nine is listed there. These are not in any particular order. They are
Yeah,
just points to remind ourselves on how to find our ikigai. So
beautiful.
stay active, don't retire. So that's a great example I can ask you. You just sold your last company, you made enough money, you don't need to go back to work. Why are you still working so much?
Um, at the end of it, it's the process, not the achievement for me, and so, when you're going through, um, building a company, partnering, creating opportunities for, a lot of people, right? Whether it's through the product or service that I, helped offer and build, or, the team that you build around you, right? So, I think that in itself is where, I always stay driven, to have the opportunity to continue to build, right? And um, I money is certainly a byproduct of the value that you're providing in your life and others. So I
Absolutely.
am value driven.
Well, while you're talking about this, why don't you tell our people what education company you built and what it provides to people?
Yeah, yeah. So, a few years back, partnered up with a good friend of mine in the healthcare space. It's basically training uh, anyone that's looking to get into the entry level healthcare position. So, pharmacy technicians to dental assistants to dialysis, techs, and what the opportunity was to really get some online training in the space where we were able to expand it nationwide. In the process took years, right? But at one point, our main competitors became, you know, our customers. So, uh,
Oh, nice. So you were able to collab with other companies instead
yep,
of creating competition. You guys created power partners there.
exactly, exactly. And ultimately, though, the some of the top companies that were in the space were using our services, and our arms got twisted, and we sold to one of our top clients, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah,
That's
so
pretty powerful there.
yeah, it's exciting, and you look back, and you recognize, staying active, right, and being in a position to serve others. That's what we did, and it turned out to be very well for everyone in the end.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, is there a website where our people can look for your courses? I have a huge audience who
Right.
benefit from it.
Yeah. Now what's happened is a couple of sales have occurred. So our company got sold to a new company that got sold to another company. So a lot
Aw-
of acquisitions happen. So not at the moment. Thank you, though.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a lot of people chiming in from all over the world.
That's amazing.
Um, hmm. Dave says, I love the 10 rules of Ikigai. I practice most of them already. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So that was first, right? Well, you already talked about stay in the moment, so we covered that. Stay active, don't retire. You know, find something. Once you find your ikigai, there's no way you can retire. You agree to that?
I do agree. I do agree. I mean, you're not. I mean, what are you retiring from if you're existing for a purpose and a passion and a mission?
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
What are you retiring from? You know,
Yeah.
like for what? Like, if that's your life purpose, why do you retire from it, right?
Yep. Yep.
Also, don't fill your stomach. So they have a huge concept in Japanese culture that you do not eat till you feel full. You eat before, like you stop eating before that, because by the time that you have realized that you're full, you've already overeaten.
Yep.
So
Very
they have a huge like portion control concept, which we don't have in our country, and we really really put so much burden on our on our digestive system here, to the point where we've accepted that the way we live is the way to live, and it's not true. We should learn from other cultures, especially in the last 2 years. So I think that's something great. And then if you read the book, there's a whole book on Ikigai. They talk about eating fruits and vegetables and diet high in antioxidants. That's their one of the most important things that they follow on daily
Yeah.
basis.
I agree. I agree. I used to live to eat, and now, recognizing portion control and the impact that it has. I mean, here in America, everything is super size, mega large, extra extra. Get, and so, shifting the mindset to living, from living to eat to eating to live, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. We need to correct that concept, especially here in our country. Ananya says a wonderful session. I think a lot of our people are loving it, so that's great. So take care of your digestive system. Don't overburden it. Like belching and burping is not normal every day. And then over here we have a concept of just going on PPIs and pepsids and different antacids are available. That's not the way to live. So that's one thing. And then we all know that we become the product of the people we surround ourselves with. And I think it's really important that you surround yourself with people who are in it for your growth.
Totally, totally. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, show me your top five friends, and you can gauge your net worth by your network, and so it's amazing how important it is to um, recognize your own value, right? So you can either be firm about, hey, the people I'm going to associate, you know, are the types of people that I want to grow with, and so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just the money. It's
No, no.
just the success. It's about the mindset. It's about the values. It's about the calling. It's about what we can give to the world together, or are they supportive of what we want to give to the world, right? So
Most
you see a
definitely.
lot of family bringing other people down, and people let that happen. It's still a choice we are making it happen, like letting it happen, right?
Yep. Yep. So true.
So get in shape for your next birthday.
All right. I love it.
All in all, in simple words, it's just saying that every year you start again to stay better in your fitness level to for the coming birthday.
Yeah, and I think that, when you take it all in, when it goes back to that health factor, right? In the sense that your mind. and your body, being taken care of and in shape allows for us to do those things that um, we're passionate about or committed to in our professions or whatnot, and with our missions and delivering things in the world, right? So like, just that's such a beautiful target. It's simple, it's exciting. Everybody loves their birthday, right? Uh, so why not target that instead? Because all the New Year's resolutions are probably what, it's 5 days in. Should we give it another 20 minutes? They're probably gone, but
Yeah, resolutions, they become cliche. So we should just really work on our life every day.
yep,
Yoga, yes, I agree, Ananya. Yoga is one of the best options to stay healthy. They are a big advocate in the book too with Ikigai. They're more so about doing deep stretches, more massaging to internal organs, and then they also advocate hugely for going out for walks in the nature because fresh air, vitamin D from the sun, connecting with the nature to get your senses and the fine tunement with the nature is just next level. You can't get that from anything else.
I agree. I agree.
We got two, well, one more. Reconnect with the nature. We already talked about that. Smile.
Yep.
So I feel that we don't really emphasize on really smiling every day. Like people are so tensed up these days. People forget that like your smiles should be such that it could be seen from your mask through your eyes.
Exactly.
Now that's the way to read a smile lately. So
Yep.
for sure.
Smiling through your eyes. Yeah. Yeah. I recognize that, right? I mean, obviously 2 years into all this new world that we live in, you get to now really look into people's eyes and see that smile or not, right? And so I'm glad you pointed that out. And yeah, I mean, a simple smile. I had read somewhere that there are um, the quality of chocolate, or the characteristic within chocolate that helps release um, happiness in the body, whether it's, I don't want to give the hormone that kicks out just because I don't know it, but
Oh,
whether
the
it's dopamine,
dopamine
norepinephrine.
and the
Yeah,
serotonin.
yeah. Well, so when you eat chocolate, it has that effect. One smile without eating chocolate has that same effect or more, right? And so there are things that we can help to induce that feeling of happiness, but just putting a smile on your face instantly in your present moment can shift your whole occurring on what's happening. So um, I'm glad to have found that because I love to smile and I love to see people smile.
Absolutely. Yeah. You like to keep it fun, It's
I
it's really
do.
great working with you. And the last one is give thanks. So basically having a heart full of gratitude, you know, um, it's just a magnet for miracles.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I know we've all gone through different phases of being up and down and going through the thick parts of life, thin times, but finding gratitude is in giving thanks, and finding gratitude has been a lifesaver for me.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that was our session on how to find your Ikigai. And I think we're going to have a lot of people watch this. So, some watched it live and some are going to watch it as time goes by. But thank you so much. Vivek, you have closing thoughts for our people here?
No, just be in pursuit of your ikigai and follow it. Thank you so much, Mansi.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you, and we should do more often. So
I
come
look forward
definitely
to it.
help us. I love talking about these type of concepts because they really help us ponder upon who we are, what do we want, and what's our why.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. Then I will see you guys all soon. Until next time, namaste. And for you, Jay Swaminarayan.
Yes, I mean,
Awesome. Take care.